Hi. Thought I'd do a second one. Uh, it's actually, it froze again, bloody thing. This is annoying me. I don't know why it's happening. I have to check. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I thought I'd try and explain something. A difference between possibly the way you were brought up and the way I was brought up, and how, it might explain why I am the way I am. Uh, when I was a kid, I grew up on a farm. Uh, I was the youngest of three kids. My two older sisters were about a year or two apart. And the second one, Cecily, she's 7 years older than me. So when I was three, she was 10. When I, the, the distance was not only, she was a girl, I was a boy, um, but it was a long way apart. So as she's leaving childhood, I'm just going into it. Yeah. So and it was a childhood by myself basically, because there was nobody there. There was maybe, I don't know, 50 people in the area that I was in. In my schoolroom, there were maybe 15 kids. One teacher, 15 kids. That's for kindergarten, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6. Okay, all those years, 15 people. Lucky if. Okay. Um, it was, yeah, it was just me. And every morning I'd get up and go for a walk, and then I'd be gone till, maybe mid-morning or lunchtime. I just wander up around the hills, and there's nothing there. It was just up in the hills. They weren't mountains; they were hills. They were pretty steep hills, but they were, yeah. And I was on a sheep farm. Yeah, so I'd take the dogs and just go for a walk, and through and I'd walk. I still remember it, walking all around the hills. There was nothing else to do. There was no TV. There was no radio. I can even remember getting electricity on. That's how far back we were. Yeah, and it was all big thrills because finally we had lights. This is big news then. Yeah, so we didn't. I don't think we had a radio. Didn't have anything, and that sort of extended until the next farm, and then I think about age 7 or something, we moved. We moved into town, and my parents bought a small shop. So I went from having nobody coming into my life to having this continual stream of people come in to my house 7 days a week. It was awful, terrible. And compounding it was, I was living next door to a spastic boy. It was a forceps. It'd been delivered by forceps and damaged, had brain damage. Yeah, so for the first 7 years, certainly there was nobody in my life, so I had to invent my own fun. That's what they used to say, make your own fun. And that continued, the same theme continued on when I moved into town. So there was no TV. TV didn't start until 5 p.m. And I think I was 11 when it started in Australia. But yeah, they didn't start broadcasting until 5 p.m. It was considered no, kids have other things to do. Once they've done all their homework and they've played and all that sort of thing, then they can watch TV. It made a lot of sense to them. These days it's 24/7, but in those days, no, it wasn't. Yes, there's no computers. Uh, so all in all, you had to make your own fun. So you went crawl bobbing, which is going to the river, which is not much more than a stream, really. And you take some string and some meat, and you just dangle in the river, and you pick up these what you'd call lobsters, small ones, mini lobsters, and take them home and boil them up, and pretty cruel, but or you'd go shooting rabbits, trapping rabbits, digging rabbit, ferreting for rabbits up because it was bigger than this place, but it was still in the country. Yeah, so and you do that, and you'd build cubby houses, you'd dig tunnels. You just go walking, hiking, walk everywhere, and then you just try and do whatever you could think to make your own fun. And I don't know, I suppose you could say it sounded virtuous, but pretty boring. But nevertheless, what I'm trying to say is it was entirely different to your bringing up. Whereas you probably went to a preschool, I didn't. You probably had a television, I didn't. You probably even had a computer, maybe. Maybe it was a bit early for you. But these days you have a computer, so everything's there. Really, I don't know whether it's a good thing or not, but you don't have to think. It's all there. You just select from any range of things, and then you have sleep outs and you have parties and all this. None of that, nothing. Everything I had to do myself. So now that's continued all the way up until present day, where you know, and this is what I'm talking about with RAF the whole time. You're not getting. See, you'll say, "Oh, can you send me some pics of this or that and something?" So I think, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm in that. Yeah, it'd be something to do, Yeah, why not?" So I get the Bluetooth and it's really, just trying to get, and it's sort of like that's what we used to do. If you went to a friend and you said you want to do such and such, do such and such, it's going to be pretty shitty, but you want to do this, and he goes, "No, I don't want to do that." You don't hang with him. It's just because he's no good to you. It's just, what are we going to do? Just sit here? Because there was no TV to watch. Okay, there was no computer to play on. There were no computer games. There's none of that. But they didn't do that. We just all had to try and do whatever we could. Yeah, so that's what I mean. But at RAF, I'll say, "Oh, can we, send some photos?" I mean, no, I can't be bothered. That's like talking to the mate that just wants to watch TV, and that's all RAF does, watch TV. She'll just watch TV. That's what I mean. That's why I'm drawing the comparison, because you tend to be more responsive for whatever reason, and more willing to talk and more willing to swap and share things. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know whether that explains it to you, but it continues until this day. And look, here I am by myself, just the way I was when I was, it's killing me. I'd love to see my kids. I'd love to be with my family, actually. Nobody wants to be like this, but yeah, so they had the same idea. Oh, yeah, Raf was a very special person. Well, yeah, she was someone I was forced to play with. I didn't have anybody else to talk to or anything, online. So yeah, I ended up talking. It's like I talk to you a lot. And you came along and you sort of really pushed her out of the way. But she was here some days, gone for weeks, and like, just imagine a kid being by themselves. You've got a friend that treats them like that, and you think, yeah, they're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like a kid by themselves wants, and you talk about, "Oh, come on, Bob, don't, we're not in kindergarten or anything else like that." Think of a young child who wants, companionship, and has gone through the whole of life and realised, no, you actually have to be careful with your friendships. Yeah, so things like fairness and politeness and all that sort of thing are important. It's if you're living in a busy environment and you get this illusion that there are heaps of people, you blow one away, you get another one. Actually, I don't think that's true. But that's where it's all coming from. That's where I think, no, no, no. If you're prepared to, you know, sort of muck around with a kid that's on his own and do things with him, even, this is what we're doing is like building cubby houses and doing things. It's no different. Um, it's most people don't do it. Nah, I can be bothered. Just go and get a job, watch telly over the night time, go to bed, you know, die. The end of it. Have some kids. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not like that. I, I can't be. It's just not me. It's not in me. No, I like doing things. Any sort of little adventure I can think of, or anything to, even making a garden. I don't, you know, uh, expect a great deal from it or anything else. I'm just used to doing it. It's just making my own fun, doing things and just, that grew, that didn't grow, that's jumped out of the ground, the poo works well, blah, blah, blah. It's that, but that's, that's what's happening, and that's where it's all come from. I hope that explains me a little bit better, because it's, and you'll see, I seize on opportunities to entertain myself. I still don't watch TV. I watched it for a long time and just thought, no, just gave it up. I watch a lot of YouTubes. There's special interest things, but yeah, and communicating, I love that. Yeah, but that's where it all came from. I hope that explains it and puts a different light on it. But yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about with Raf. That's like, she didn't do any of that. Well, I can't be bothered. And you sort of think, oh, okay. And yeah, I used to talk to Sue. And, I don't want that. So yeah, I'm just like a kid up in the hills wanting to play, do something, create something out of nothing because there was nothing there. I was all right, but there was nothing there, nothing to do. So yeah, you just have to create your own fun. Anyway, I'll get this off to you.